Hi, folks. Welcome, and thanks for joining us on The Cream of the Crop, a podcast dedicated to agriculture. We talk to top leaders, share top ideas, and discuss top trends and products. We get to the heart of ag and put the issues on the table. Hi, folks, and welcome to the podcast. Justin Machell, CEO of Highland Ag Solutions here, joined by Brent Lewis and Brian Deese again for the final part of our Highland Ag MarketWatch discussion. So today we're going to jump right into MarketWatch 2.0. We've launched the product, we've listened to our customers, and we got great feedback. And that feedback we've turned into new innovation that's going to be coming here this fourth quarter of 2023. So let's jump right into it, Brent. Let's talk a little bit about customer feedback, what we've heard, what we're looking to do, and some of the new innovation that's going to be coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, so I think with customer feedback, starting out with, that's been the whole point of MarketWatch over time. It's just been to constantly be asking for more feedback. How can we make it better? How can we make it easier to get you into the data source that's there? That started with login. I mean, at one point you had to go through the Highland Hub in order to log into MarketWatch. It took you 3, 4, 5 minutes to get into the app. Yep. And so we heard that, and we went ahead and built our own login app. Been a lot of other features in 2022 alone. We released 32 new updates, new features just in the MarketWatch 1.0 app, as we heard customers' feedback on things. And so, like we've said in previous podcasts, we're going to keep doing that. And so MarketWatch 2.0 really brings sustainability, speed, the ability to rapidly add new features. So just from the guts perspective of 2.0, it's bringing the code up to speed. So as we at Highland have become more professional in just our development experience. I mean, we got a lot of new faces around here, a lot of new developers come from all around the industry in software development. They're really talented, and they've been able to bring us to a whole new world of what we can do in app development. So we used to think, this looks like it was made in Mulberry, instead of being made in Silicon Valley. Well, now we have some really, really talented guys. And so they're challenging us on how we can build things better. And for 2.0, it's taken MarketWatch 1.0, and not only is it giving it a facelift with our new, I say new, but it's been probably a year now, we've had UI UX in-house. And so a UI UX user interface, user experience, people that know how to best use an app. We have those people on staff now at Highland, and so they've been able to look at MarketWatch and point out a number of things that we could do better. And so there's a facelift to it. It's going to look very different from the login experience to the home page to the dashboards. Even things are going to run faster. We're getting rid of some just older methods of website development. We're going to a whole new front end system using Angular to build our app in. So a whole lot of new features there as far as sustainability, being able to build out, rapidly release new features in the future as we start making connections into external data, which we'll get into that a little bit in this podcast. And how do we take what we're doing in MarketWatch with bringing in something that's never been done before, bringing in ERP data live? What kind of external data sources can we bring alongside with that and really provide a whole lot more power to it?
Well, as with any product development, you've got to start with an MVP, right? Your minimum viable product. Get something out there to the client base, let them start looking at it, let them start using the product and giving us feedback. And then from there, you innovate and you iterate, right? So, we've been able to hire some just outstanding staff. Steve Maxwell, John Durham, they've doubled down on this business, and it's going to be world-class. And from the hub to MarketWatch, everything that we're doing is it's just fantastic to see the energy and the faces and the talent that we have here. Truly exceptional. So they've been able to help you and your team with giving the facelift, but looking at the guts, making it that much better, stepping it up to that level that we got to be at, right? And all the while still maintaining security, a focus around that, and making sure our clients' interest is first at everything that we do, right?
That's right. Yeah, we'll get into the new features, but we've also had back-end updates to 2.0. So we talked a little bit about modularization of the business logic and making things faster. Also aggregating data. So up until in 1.0, up until recently, we've had a year's worth of 30-minute intervals in our data. So that's a lot of data. And so now with 2.0, we are aggregating that at higher levels, the more historical data. You'll still have 30-minute interval data for past week or two, but there's no reason to keep that data past that. So that's going to make things a whole lot faster on the front end. The user will experience a noticeable difference there. So that's the bulk of like the things that will be noticeable, but aren't necessarily new features. We do have a lot of new features coming, so I can just go ahead and go through those.
Yeah, go ahead and share those.
Bring up some of them.
Absolutely.
Weather. Weather's one that, weather's a big portion of not only, especially on the grower side, but even more so on the marketer side too, in some ways, in different ways. And so what we've built on the weather side is the ability for them to go in and plug in cities that they're interested in tracking, whether that's origin places, destination cities. And because we have the MarketWatch side, and this is just kind of bringing two things together, we're not going and building a weather app, but there are reliable weather data sources out there that we're just going to plug into, which we've already made those connections. If we're bringing in that weather data for all those cities that they're interested in a lot of cases we'll be able to know what cities they're interested in because we know what volumes that they're shipping to, places they really need to track, places that'd be helpful to know. If there's a blizzard coming in 5 days, maybe you need a plan to move that product elsewhere, right? So this eventually will queue up into notifications, which isn't part of the MVP of 2.0, but will be coming later, where the destinations, the origins that they care about to track, they'll be able to see a 7-day forecast in 2.0, and with the goal of being able to bring in notifications down the road with that and queue up information for them. FCP, and FCP is Fresh Cargo Peru. So they are a company that put together the shipments that go out of Peru for a number of commodities. For blueberries specifically, they track. They don't track, but they keep track of the shipments that are leaving the ports there out of Peru. What's the volume that's on those ports, where they're going to, what's their estimated time of arrival, and that's really valuable information. So some of our own customers use that. And we wanted to make that connection in with Fresh Cargo Peru, and so that we can learn ourselves what that data was made up of, but then also how can we make it better? What other data sources can we tie in with it to make it even more valuable? And one of the things that we've done is we've taken a maritime tracker company online that some of our subscribers use as well, Marine Traffic, and we are tracking every single boat coming out of Fresh Cargo Peru. What's their actual ETA? Because companies like Marine Traffic give good predictive ETAs. They know port congestion. They have history of that, as well as weather patterns that are going to come and make boats get off track. And so just in the preliminary look, there's those ETAs that come out of Fresh Cargo Peru. What the planned ETA is plus or minus 5-7 days.
Wow.
So I mean, they'll hit it sometimes, but especially depending on where it's going. If it's going to Asia, going to Europe, it could be off even further. So there's a lot that we're learning there, but that's a part of MarketWatch 2.0. We're going to be combining Fresh Cargo Peru and Marine Traffic into powerful visualizations where you can track not only just your boats, which others are doing already, but be able to see the entire industry. This is a ton of volume that we're talking about coming out of Peru. Where's it going to hit? East Coast, West Coast? How much is going to hit? When is it going to hit? A day or two makes a huge difference because volume is what's going to drive markets. So I'm excited about that. This has really been a thrilling experience building this. So that's a big key for MarketWatch 2.0 is what kind of established our time frame for getting that out. So here in September of 2023, we'll be letting our subscribers see that data. So I'm excited about that.
It's very exciting because it's part of our international initiative too, right? So, Peru ships a lot of produce a lot of blueberries to the United States, but they also ship a lot elsewhere too. And it's about unlocking that information. So if we can provide another level of transparency and a good look at what's going, where's it going, and when is it going to hit? I mean, on your side of the fence previously, if you had good, accurate information what was coming, I mean, then you could coordinate so much better, and the sales team can plan that much better. And when you can coordinate better, plan better, you make better decisions that hopefully in turn, turns into better results at the end of the day, right?
I mean, absolutely, especially when you're operating out of different regions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're operating a different region and you got Peru in the mix, you better know what's going on.
That's
because
right.
that stuff's coming, and it's gonna be a huge impact in the marketplace. So yeah, anytime you can follow those, ship by ship and know if it's coming east, west, Port Everglades or Philly or LA, wherever it's coming into.
Yep.
I mean, that makes a big difference, and it'll put your sales guys at ease. If they can see that stuff coming, they can make a plan, and it doesn't hit them in the face all at one time, and you don't ever want that to happen. So this is
Right.
huge for MarketWatch.
So you've got that connection, and with Fresh Cargo Peru, I'm sure we're starting to look at. We're also looking at Chile, Argentina. We're looking at all the different source origins to be able to unlock that data. Right. This is the first one that we're going to roll out, but we're also looking into other data sources. We want to get as real time information as possible, and then be able to, like we said, disseminate that to the industry along the way. So, as we roll out the MVP here for 2.0 and we get this new functionality out, we want to hear from our users too, right? We want to hear from our customers. What are other good data sources to go to unlock other countries, other regions, and what are they using? What can we integrate into MarketWatch to consolidate, to have one view of everything, right? And we think there's a lot of value in being able to do that and work and partner up with these other organizations that have data. So that'll be important steps along the way as we go. But we're listening to our customers and adding this functionality in there. And in time for our quorum with Peru here coming up very soon, very soon, being able to release this functionality is just huge, critical for us.
Yeah. And this has been one of the reasons this has been exciting to dive into is it's caused us to have to learn a lot about how to even track a vessel. Well, find out you don't track vessels, you track containers. And so what is the data points that we need? And just like we do on MarketWatch, we're going to provide confidence factors so that as we show what's coming week 31 and week 32 and week 33, they'll be able to see what are those ETAs, what percentage of those ETAs is made up of marine traffic predictive, what's made up of the carrier ETA, what's made up of what is boats that we couldn't subscribe to or carriers that we couldn't subscribe to, and we still have to use the FCP ETA there, right? So they'll be able to have a better understanding of confidence factor as to how accurate these volumes are when they're showing up. So it's gonna be thrilling, and it'll be going out, through email to our subscribers so that they can opine on it and get back to us and let us know how else they want to see it. And so that one I'm really excited about, the Fresh Cargo Peru and marine traffic.
That's great. And we've been talking a lot about berries, right? Obviously, those are the commodities that we're in right now. But we're also looking to continue to scale. We're talking to some cherry folks right now. We've been talking to watermelon, tomato guys. We said at the beginning, any kind of fresh fruits and vegetables. I think the more highly perishable they are, the more it makes sense, obviously. But we're talking to people that find value and even some of the commodities you could store. So it's just as we get it out there and release it to more people and show it and expose it to more folks, you get different perspectives all the way around, right? And so we're looking to expand commodities here in the near future, and new regions, new markets, right? I mean, we want to push the international deal. We got to get it lifted off here, obviously in the U.S. To really get the value, but we're looking to expand elsewhere as well. So, any other context around go to market, the vision? What's your vision, Brian, for seeing this thing, over the next 6-12 months and how it's going to play out?
So, I mean, the data era is here, right? I mean, we're in it. So, I mean, this is a product that we've needed for the last 20, 30 years in this industry. The data's here. We have the tool. You know, it's time to start using this data like it's supposed to be used to make better data-driven decisions. Mm-hmm. And if you're not making data-driven decisions in this day and age, you're going to be a dinosaur. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, guys better get with it, because a lot of the guys that we're talking to now are excited about it and they're moving forward on it. And the guys that aren't, I mean, I think they're going to be left behind. So
yeah, and what's the saying? You can't expect different results when you're doing the same thing.
That's it
every time, right? So it's something that we've heard the industry ask for. They've been beating down the doors for it, and here we go. We got the product available. It's time to come on board and join this. You know, if you have any concerns, if you're questioning certain things around security or sensitivity of the data, whatever, that's what we're here for. We're here to help answer those questions. Mm-hmm. and put your mind at ease around that. It's amazing the data that is shared, your personal data that's shared today, that's out in the public. It's scary, quite frankly, scary how much of our data is out there. You think that privacy is a thing, and you know, between Google and Facebook and Twitter and everything else, it's just amazing what's out there. But we're coming from a different perspective. We understand that, we're sensitive to that, and we've even gone as far as to put in our terms and conditions. We've got a data covenant that we share with our customers. We've even got a non-compete in there. You know, we had some customers say, "Oh, you guys are going to go get all this data and then go build your own sales and marketing company and market blueberries better than anybody else." Well, no, I don't want to be in that business. Mm. we're a technology company. We want to be able to serve this up to not only the berry industry, but a lot of other industries, and we want to help provide a lot of value along the way. And that's our mission. We're here to help them. And so I'm not interested in going out and selling. I've been on that side of the fence before, and you've been on that side of the fence before, and I don't think we want to go back there. But Brent, why don't you talk a little bit about what we've got for privacy, the data covenant, and what we're doing on that side, because it's a big topic.
It is a big topic. So we kind of put together a acronym, PAST, to just keep track of everything that we're doing on the data side that brings assurances to our customers. And so PAST: data privacy, data anonymity, data security, and data transparency. Mm-hmm. So you brought up the data covenant. That's under privacy, where we commit to only use your data for the purposes of why you're sharing your data, which is to get aggregated market intelligence. And so yeah, I mean, the company's really devalued in a lot of ways by making that commitment. But we make that commitment because it's not our data. Right. It's our subscribers' data, and that's not been viewed as appreciative as I think it should be. As we've whether it's trying to bid for other opportunities of work that MarketWatch could have filled the gap in, but data privacy, we want to protect our customers. Mm-hmm. We recognize it's the holy grail of their business, and we're only going to use it for the purposes that they trust us to use it.
And we haven't publicly said any names of any customers that are on the platform today, right? Nope. Right. I mean, we got quite a few. We have a good number. We have some sizable ones that are on there, but we're not going to go and just promote their name and put everybody on notice that, hey, so-and-so is using MarketWatch, right? Right. You never know the ramifications of publicly putting your name out there. Hey, I'm on this platform, and heaven forbid any kind of, anything comes down the pipeline and you get pressured from anywhere. We don't want to do that. We just want to be behind the scenes, provide a great tool to allow our customers to make good decisions. And we take privacy very, very, important here. Yes. So it's a huge thing. We're not going to go out and just blast your name, put it out there in all kinds of press releases. Right? Yeah,
that's right. So the second thing is data anonymity, and we talked a little bit about that in the previous podcasts. But just to highlight it some more, any company specific information that comes through in transmissions, which it's all company specific, it all gets standardized. So before anything makes it to the front end, there's no company names, there's no unique, clamshell names or
no customer names, none of their customer base or any of that.
Right. None of that comes to the front end. That's all dealt with in the back end. That's where it stays in the database. And so, so I think that's important to just highlight. Not only do we have the quorum logic, and the aggregation processes to ensure that we're only going to show when we have a quorum, but you brought up, I think, in previous episodes, the package type. What kind of package types where they're not unique label or unique size, proprietary.
Yep.
Proprietary package types. We have customers that have proprietary packs, and so where we can standardize those to an 8-pound flat or to the pound, we'll do that, for that commodity. But we won't ever show that package type because that's unique to that customer. But that just shows a little bit more about the anonymity. We want to make sure that nothing's reverse engineerable and can be backed into our subscribers' data. So, and then there's data security. So PAS data security. We talked a little bit about the transmission process that's encrypted, HTTPS sent to our API. There's you brought up the football analogy of a quarterback and receiver. So at any point, any of our subscribers could just talk to their ERP and cut us off. They own the keys. It's their ERP. Their ERP reports to them. They don't report to us. And so if any of our subscribers ever weren't comfortable with how we were managing the data, they could easily turn it off. So I think that's important. Secure storage. Everything is protected by multi-factor authentication. That is very unique to MarketWatch too. The MarketWatch databases that house this is all kept on Azure, but it's also multi-factor requirement to get into it. It's special access, so not all of our developers have access to the MarketWatch database. So it's only on a need to know. You are working on the MarketWatch application in order to be able to access that. Just a number of things on security, and there's probably more. It'd actually be great to probably get Frank on a future podcast just to really wear it out. But that's security. And the last thing was transparency. We have an admin tool that we keep track of, as we talked about, for trouble transactions. All of that is open to any of our subscribers that have any questions about how we're tracking, how we're processing data. We want to be open to any qualified auditor that wants to come in and inspect our processes. We want our subscribers to have that capability of doing that. So we're striving to be as transparent as we can with how we're processing this data, and that we're being careful with it. That's PAST, P-A-S-T. That's how we're kind of keeping track of what we're doing, and we'll add to it as our subscribers have other ideas for how we can beef up security even more. Part of MarketWatch 2.0 is enhanced login security. Building this in the Angular app has forced us to rethink how we even do login processes here at Highland. And so MarketWatch is kind of paving the way as the first app here that's being built in the latest code, latest app development tool. So it's going really well, and we expect to be training our customers on MarketWatch 2.0 before the next berry season kicks off, and getting them familiar with some of the new external data sources. You mentioned this, Justin, that Fresh Cargo Peru is kind of our foray into external data sources. I mean, we have the USDA data. We have dashboards that we queue up with the USDA data. So it's not our first rodeo, but it is something new for us, and we want to keep adding to that and see where we can go from there. But I mean, MarketWatch is going to be a hub in and of itself, right, of market intelligence.
That's the idea around it, isn't it? And to your point about USDA data, I mean, there's a lot of folks that use USDA data as a ballpark, right? And so we have a product called MarketWatch Lite that's built into the full program, but you can get all the charts and graphs and numbers and all the stuff that you want using USDA data. Some of our folks have asked, hey, can we compare USDA data to what you're showing in MarketWatch? So that kind of prompted us to say, yeah, we can build those tools and put that in there. So we're transparent, right? Here it is. That's the data source. If you want to look at that and use that as a frame of reference, here's MarketWatch, right? And if you just want that, I mean, we can sell you that product too, MarketWatch Lite. But the real value and benefit and experience is being on the entire program of MarketWatch and participating in that, in the data sharing. And I think that more and more folks are getting comfortable doing that. And we sure hope so. We want to expand the platform and get it out there, but we're doing everything that we can, that we know to do right now, to protect the data, to make sure everything's secure and provide that peace of mind. And that's so important to us. Anybody that questions that, we're transparent about it. These are all the things that we're doing today to make sure that your stuff is secure. Your information is not going to get out to your competitors. It's not going to happen. It's your go-to-market strategies, anything that is proprietary to you, it stays there. Our people don't even know it. I don't know it. I don't get in there and look at it. I remove myself away from that, right? I don't want to have any part of that. But even our sales team, they're not in there looking at that stuff. When you do the annual reviews, I mean, Brian's not in there, sitting down with the client looking at annual reviews and their numbers, right? We try to remove ourselves from any of those opportunities. But our folks are professional enough to know, people call him all the time asking, hey, what's going on here in this market and that, and well, get on the system and you'll be able to see, right? So we're not just out there doing that part, but we're excited about where we're at. Like you said, I think we may have even devalued the company a bit with because tech companies, you make money on data, you can sell data all day long.
Oh yeah.
And so what happens if, we got a lot of those questions up front. What happens if Highland is bought out? Say Nielsen comes in and wants to buy us out, or IRI or something like that. Well, that data covenant survives, and it's written so it survives, and they can't do anything with it. Right? If they want to continue offering that service, they're going to be bound by those conditions, and it survives anything that goes on here. Not that we have any intention of selling, we don't, but we've positioned everything and built everything and worked with our attorney group to make sure that we're trying to dot the I's, cross the T's, and cover our bases there to make sure that everything is protected that way. I know we've hammered it home here the last couple of minutes, but it's a big deal for us and a big deal for our potential clients that have been asking those kind of questions. So it's we just wanted to reiterate that here, as we're trying to wrap this up. And as we're bringing this to a close, we've covered a lot here in the last 3 episodes. So I just want to give each of you a chance to kind of wrap it up from your perspective, and then we'll close on that. But Brent, what are some of your final thoughts here that you'd like to get to our listeners?
Yeah, if you believe in the concept of what we're trying to do, if you can appreciate it all, that this is something that the industry needs, then start talking about it.
Even if there's hesitations too.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let's at least get the dialogue going.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, regardless of what you may think of even Highland as a company, if you get the idea and the concept of it, start talking about it, start talking to other people about it, come see us at trade shows, ask questions, and let's get a conversation going about the importance of data transparency and real, true data transparency. I think there's a reason why there's distrust in the industry. There's a reason why sometimes the supply and demand, the visualizations aren't there. They don't make sense sometimes, and so we think that MarketWatch changes that. MarketWatch is here to change that, and so so I think just start talking about it and reach out to us, and we look forward to that conversation.
Absolutely. Brian?
Yeah, so along the same lines as Brent, there's always been a little back and forth between the growers and the marketers, right? And when I first saw this product, I knew right away that was going to take away that distrust between the grower and the marketing arm. And there needs to be that. I mean, you need trust in your grower, and you got to have trust in your marketer, or it's not gonna work. And MarketWatch, solves all those problems between those two. And I've seen it happen with with the current customers we have now. And then, you know, I've seen some marketers that have, you know, had some rough seasons here and there because they don't have the visualization on what's going on with volume and market at the same time. So it's just an important piece of the business that we've been missing for a long time. And, you know, I want to make a call to the industry to, you know, growers and marketers alike. You know, if you guys are tired of the same old, you need to, you know, get on the platform and you know, at least try it out. I mean, like Brent said, at any time you can turn it off if you don't like it.
Yep.
But I guarantee you won't turn it off once you get on it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my final thought, and I'll leave you with that.
We had a marketer, one of our customers, say, "Why wouldn't we want to do this?"
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Why wouldn't we want to do this? Because, you know, number one, if I'm the one doing it, I can be transparent to my growers, and when I'm out recruiting other growers, I'm going to show them what I'm doing. Hey, we're one of the only ones doing it. Yeah, he was an early adopter, and he's like, we're one of the only ones doing this. You know, why wouldn't we want to do it?
Right.
You know, why wouldn't we want to at least have the conversation going to see, even if I have reservations, let's talk through it. You know, and to your point earlier, there's a lot of people that helped us build this that aren't even customers today. Yeah, we hope they do. We hope they come on board soon. But we've had a lot of great insight, a lot of great input from the industry. It's a powerful tool, and it's something that, you know, we hope we can scale vastly to this industry and grow to other commodities and help them. But it's just the genuine passion that we have for the customer, and we're here from that perspective. We're not a tech company trying to push a tech solution on an industry because we're trying to make a quick buck. Buddy, let me tell you, we'd have been gone a long time ago if that were the case, right? I can tell you, you know, our owners, you know, Steve Maxwell, John Durham, they have put the investment into this business, and they are just committed to this industry. You know, they sold the packaging company and they could have been off doing whatever they wanted to go do, and they said, no, we're here for this industry. We want to do everything that we can to support it. And this is part of that, right? Along with our Highland Hub products. So we're excited about that. We hope that our listeners, you feel the passion, you hear what we're saying here today, and you get excited about wanting to be a part of what we're doing. We want to hear from you. We want to get your input. We'd love to have you as a customer, and we're willing to work with you. You know, we take our bumps and bruises along the way. We're still learning, but we're from the ag side. We're not just that tech company coming in. Yeah, we're ag guys that created a tech company to build solutions for the ag industry. And Steve Maxwell he says this. He goes, we always find the toughest challenge, and we go after that one. And you know, when you cut your teeth on that and you do it well, then you know, nobody's going to come mess with you, and you're going to provide great solutions to a market that needs it. And I feel like we've done that here in this case, you know. So with that, folks, we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for tuning in to us as we've talked about Highland Ag MarketWatch. And again, Brian, give our listeners, if they want to reach out to us, how can they get in touch with us? Yeah,
I mean, they can call us at 863-940-0212, and then youdeservebetterdata.com, MarketWatch at highlandag.com. Reach out to us anytime you want.
All right, very good, folks. Thanks for joining us for this 3-part series. We hope that you got a lot out of that. We hope to hear from you. We hope to get your input. We're going to do more podcasts in the future, and we want to field your questions. We want to answer any questions you have, any objections you have, or suggestions that you might have. We'd love to hear from you, so feel free to reach out to us. And with that, we say thank you. Take care. Thank you for joining us today. This podcast has been a presentation of Has Media, copyright 2020, all rights reserved. Be sure to follow us on social media on Instagram and Facebook at Highland Ag Solutions, and catch the video presentation of this podcast on our YouTube channel.